allocating to resources to governors who have failed and shown impunity to account for the public resources that we allocate to them as per Article 210 of the Constitution, Mr. Speaker? Is it in order that you direct the majority leader to stand down the division of revenue bill until and unless the governors account for the resources that we are doing, Mr. Speaker? Remember, Mr. Speaker, there are 2 governors who have warrant of arrest. You saw the governor of Nairobi, but I was later informed he came to sign a condolence book. He did not appear before the committee. There is the governor of Samburu, who our colleagues have gone to arrest him, Mr. Speaker. Is it in order that we discuss division of revenue until the issue of warrant of arrest is addressed, Mr. Speaker, and cleared? Is it in order that 11 governors were named and shamed for failing to appear before the committee? 29 governors refused to appear to account for money, Mr. Speaker. If, Mr. Speaker, we allow division of revenue, we shall be complicity in passage and participating in corruption and impunity that will allow the governors to use resources without accountability. Not to mention Kericho County, which got an adverse opinion. In fact, Mr. Speaker, as a House, we should be invoking Article 225 of the Constitution to order stoppage of funds, because the intention is likely to be misuse and abuse of resources, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, understanding order number 1, we need your direction that the majority leader of the Senate withdraws and stops division of revenue until the governors account for the resources that we give to the people, Mr. Speaker, and that is the message across the country. However they run, Mr. Speaker, they must stop it, and they must be held accountable, Mr. Speaker.
Now, honorable senators, who is out of order? Because the Senator Fernandi was on his feet on a point of order. Now, Senator Fernandi, the majority leader, is quite in order to move that business. You have to understand that quite a number of governors appeared and accounted for the resources that are given to them. There are other consequences under the law for those who did not appear for purposes of accounting for the resources that were made available to them. It is those consequences that shall follow. Not debating the division of revenue is not one of the consequences for governors not accounting. So, Senate Majority Leader, you may proceed.
Mr. Speaker, I had sent Senator Sifuna on an important assignment, and he has responded. Can he first report to the House, Mr. Speaker, whether his mission was successful, Mr. Speaker?
Senate Majority Leader, just proceed, please. Proceed. What is disorderly about the Senate Majority Leader? If it has nothing to do with the Majority Leader, then I'll overrule you.
Mr. Speaker, the business that the Majority Leader is about to transact is business that determines the amount of leverage that this House has over accountability and sending money to counties, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you know very well, and I am not...
What is your point of order, Senator Ledam?
My point of order is that currently we have a situation in this country where the citizen expects us to be able to task this county government to be able to account for the money that we are fighting for them to go there. If you read Article 217, Mr. Speaker, we decided that we are sending more money to counties. 219, the moment we finish this, 219 dictates that that money cannot be delayed. Why should we be continuing discussing sending money, Mr. Speaker, when those who are receiving this money cannot account for it? So, Mr. Speaker, I think it would be fair, so that we can be able to transact business effectively, that the gentleman who was sent out to be able to carry out a task reports to this House if they succeeded in their citizens' arrest or not. And the orders that you gave, Mr. Speaker, you did order the Sergeant-at-Arms to be able to escort a witness to the nearest police station. It will be in order for us to get an update of what has happened so that we can proceed well. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Now, Senator Ledama, the point of order you've raised is the very same point of order that the Senator Fernandi had raised. And if you listened carefully, I overruled that point of order. On the issue of citizen arrest, I had not ordered or instructed anybody to go effect arrest. I had directed the Sergeant at Arms to escort the governor of Samburu, in case he's within the presence of Parliament, to the nearest police station. You may proceed, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the governor has run away, but you know the police warrant of arrest is active. So we want to tell the IG that he is somewhere within the CBD, and he should be located immediately. Because, Mr. Speaker, it is clear that he wants to do business with this house, only that he does not want to come on his own volition. He wants to be brought here, Mr. Speaker. So maybe, I don't know, later you can amend your guidance and instruct the IG to locate him within Nairobi so that it's easier. Mr. Speaker, I know my colleagues, Senator Cherargei and Senator Ledama, have raised this issue. Why should we proceed with division of revenue while we have, Mr. Speaker, this conversation? These are senior legislators. They understand that passage of a division of revenue, number one, is time-bound. Number two, is a process. We are not concluding on this exercise today. This, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I am not certainly convinced that we need to drop this business at this point, because, Mr. Speaker...
Senate Majority Leader, I called you to proceed. Kindly proceed. Why are you debating whether to proceed or not to proceed?
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bill number 2 of 2026, be now read a second time. Mr. Speaker, the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bill number 2 of 2026, was published in the Kenya Gazette Supplement number 14 of 2026, dated on the 19th of February 2026. The bill was passed by the National Assembly on 10th of March, which is 2 weeks ago, and referred to the Senate for consideration. The principal object of this bill is to provide the vertical sharing of revenue, Mr. Speaker, raised nationally between the two levels of government, the national and the county governments for financial year 2026 and 2027, in accordance with Article 202, 203, 205, 218, 2 of the Constitution of Kenya.
Proceed, proceed. Proceed, have you concluded?
No, there's somebody shouting, point of
order, Senator Fernandi. What is it a clarification or a point of order?
It's a point of order, Speaker, just for purposes of procedure. Mr. Speaker, I raise understanding order 159 on withdrawal of bills. Standing order 159.1, either before the commencement of business or on the order of the day, for any stage of the bill being read, the senator in charge of the bill may, without notice, claim to withdraw the bill. If the Speaker is of the opinion that the claim is an abuse of the proceedings of the Speaker shall decline to allow the withdrawal of the bill. A bill that has been withdrawn may be subject to standing order 130, which means it can be reintroduced, and republication to be introduced again. Finally, Mr. Speaker, sir, number 159.4, if a senator in charge of a bill desires to withdraw a bill before it is introduced in the House, the senator shall in writing, of course, in comparison. My only concern under 159 on withdrawal of bills, the senator of Kericho, who is the distinguished majority leader, has the power as per this standing order to withdraw this bill of division of revenue, because what we are discussing, Mr. Speaker, sir, is under Chapter 13 on principles of public finance on accountability and transparency, under Article 10 on national values and principles of governance, under Article 174 on objects on principles of devolution, on accountability and transparency of resources, Mr. Speaker. That is sufficient constitutional provisions that suffices, Mr. Speaker, for the majority leader. I hope he would be listening through you, Mr. Speaker. The Senate majority leader, you know you are very wise and you have Solomonic wisdom. It is in the interest of this country that you withdraw this bill pronto, so that the Kenyans can see we are serious on accountability and transparency, Mr. Speaker. I yield back.
Majority Leader, the floor is yours. Majority Leader, the floor is yours. It is upon the Majority Leader. If you look at that particular standing order, you cannot force the Majority Leader to the floor.
Mr. Speaker,
What is the point of order, Senator Kathuri? Majority Leader, take your seat.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I wanted to plead with you that given that you
I
are
have
not
the floor, Honorable Majority Leader. Okay.
Just 10 seconds. Mr. Speaker, I wanted to request you, given that you cannot be a leader without followers, Mr. Speaker, I want to listen to the wisdom of my colleagues before proceeding. So if you could allow for a few interventions, then I'll make the decision.
Senator Mogeni. The Senator for Nandi has spoken from this side. Let's move this. Then I'll come to you. I'll come to you, Senator for Meru.
Yes. Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I think we need to send a statement to these guys calling themselves their excellencies, governors. In fact, Mr. Speaker, there are some of our former colleagues, like the one who was here this afternoon, Honorable Lelelit. You know, Mr. Speaker, as PSC, we normally allow our former colleagues to have access to this house, but as long as they conduct themselves in an honorable manner. Our information that has reached Mr. Speaker indicates that the moment you made a pronouncement, Mr. Speaker, Senator Lelelit has been captured running like 100-meter stag. Yeah, Governor Lelelit. He has run faster than Omanyala out of the precincts of this house to escape the implementation, Mr. Speaker, of your directive, Mr. Speaker. I've never seen somebody run like the way Lelelit has run from Parliament, Mr. Speaker. I think, Mr. Speaker, we must, this gives us an opportunity to sit down, Mr. Speaker, and consider whether, as a House, we should relook at our standing orders, Mr. Speaker, and give this House powers to pass a resolution to bar some of these characters from getting access to Parliament. Because it's a shame for that governor to walk to Parliament, line up media, without even the permission of the Speaker. You know what happened to former Speaker of the House of Commons, John Biko? He's the only Speaker in 200 years who was denied the power of peerage. He's not called a lord, and he does not get access to the House of Commons. People like Senator Sakaja should not come to take not photos. He frequents our bar here. We should bar him. He cannot come to take a drink in our beautiful bar here, but he cannot appear before a committee, Mr. Speaker, to answer to the audit queries that have been raised by the Auditor General. Mr. Speaker, on the issue of the bill that has been moved by the Majority Leader, we have said, President, Mr. Speaker, there are times we request for a few minutes to go and consult and reflect before we proceed with an order that is on the order paper. And the Senator knows, Senator Cheragei leader knows, that we went through that motion. Senator Cheruiyot, sorry. We went through that motion when we were discussing the fourth formula. We could adjourn for a few minutes, Mr. Speaker. We go, share among ourselves, then we come back. So I'm requesting you, Mr. Speaker, sir, that you allow the House to adjourn for a maximum of 20 minutes. We retreat as senators to consult before we transact on the business that has been moved by Majority Leader, Speaker, sir. He has just introduced the motion.
Senator for Meru County.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity also to weigh in on this matter, which is actually a matter of national interest. Mr. Speaker, when I was following up the proceedings from 2:30 p.m., as now a citizen, I was not in this floor. But, Honorable Speaker, all radios, all televisions are watching the Senate today. So, Mr. Speaker, when I approached the Senate as I was coming in, what is happening at the gate of the Senate is total shame, Mr. Speaker. Yesterday, when I was at around 4:30, when I was walking out of this Senate, Mr. Speaker, I think all the international media, all local media, were just focusing. I even asked, who is this VVIP who is coming out of the Senate? All cameras were glaring at this gentleman. Then I talked to one of the journalists. He told me we are waiting for Senator Sakaja to leave the Senate. Governor Sakaja to leave the Senate, former senator. Mr. Speaker, what is happening today again? Yesterday, okay, I felt it is okay, but today again, what is at the gate of the Senate is total shame, Mr. Speaker. And if we allow all these shenanigans to continue, then the Senate of the Republic of Kenya is in total shame. How can 29 governors fail to appear to the Senate CPAC committee? How? How can this happen? And they are walking the streets, appearing before, coming to the Senate to portray that they are even stronger, they are powerful than the Senate of the Republic of Kenya. Who is this giving senators access to the Senate? These governors. When you are invited as a governor and you fail to attend the Senate sessions, and then you are given opportunity to come to offices, Mr. Speaker, this is total shame, Mr. Speaker, and I think you, with your authority, because you are our Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Speaker, we want to convince the majority leader to drop this discussion today. I'm aware, Mr. Speaker, I'm aware there are counties that did appear before the CPIC. There are governors who appeared before CPIC. There are counties that are doing well, Mr. Speaker, but because of the national interest, the governor for Meru appeared before CPIC and CPAC and attended all those sessions, and they are really trying to see how they can also, Mr. Speaker, come. I even shared with them today that the CPIC, these are the observations and the conclusions that they have done, including CPAC, they have done the same, Mr. Speaker. Some counties have complied. But for the interest of this country, I cannot allow also Meru to be given this money when Nairobi is suffering. So, or Nandi, Kericho also did not comply. It's worse. Even senators that have come before us and impeachments are still out there trying to be embraced. So, Mr. Speaker, for the interest of the Republic of Kenya, and so that also we can be seen as the Senate of the Republic of Kenya, that is truly taking care of the interests of the counties that we have. Mr. Speaker, any business that belongs to the county governments, we put it down, and then we agree or disagree. Because the governor for Nairobi, Senator Sifuna, when he walked to the media, which he brought the media to the Senate. How can the governor bring all media houses, Mr. Speaker, to the Senate? Who has given him these powers to bring media houses to the Senate? How can he come? Mr. Speaker, also I was very frustrated today when Senator Sifuna was speaking to the media, and at the back of his, I saw him, the media is the National Assembly. He is a senator. Can we have also media house for the Senate? Media center for the Senate. So that when we are also discussing issues, yeah, Madam Commissioner, can we have media house for the Senate? As we have also the media house for the National Assembly. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to convince my younger brother, Senator Cheruiyot, let us suspend, even if it means suspending Senate business in totality, so that we can be able to handle these governors. We need to really, we can't massage these governors, I'm telling you, honorable senators. Let us deal with them. Where's the Senator Okomundu? Man to man, Mr. Speaker, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
The Minority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think this particular bill has brought a bit of some interest. In my view, I'm looking for a way on how we can temporarily suspend this sitting. We adjourn this debate. And then we can reconvene maybe after 20, 30 minutes. And then I think with that direction, then we can know exactly what necessary directions we should take. Yeah.
Senator Wambua.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I want to thank the Majority Leader for accepting to listen to input from members on this matter. Mr. Speaker, it is your business to read the mood of the House. And if this bill continues to be debated, chances are it will actually collapse. That's what will happen. You don't want that to happen. The best thing to do is to withdraw the bill. Withdraw the bill. Mr. Speaker, I have no business advising the chair on what to do in such a time as this. But I know there is a motion that is coming up by Senator Ledama Olekina, which is very, very relevant to the issues that we are discussing on the behavior of the governors. Mr. Speaker, that would be the best motion to be brought here for us to deal with the wayward behavior of the governors. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, I accompanied Senator Sifuna and a number of my colleagues out there. And Mr. Speaker, it's really a shame. It's really a shame what is happening in the precincts of Parliament, Mr. Speaker. That the governor of Samburu has the audacity to bring together more than 50 media houses to Parliament, Mr. Speaker, to Parliament, to speak ill about senators. Mr. Speaker, which is easier, to call the media out there or to appear before a Senate committee and respond to audit queries? Because, Mr. Speaker, this is something that we can't understand. And I want to, Mr. Speaker, address this because it's important. The senator for Wajir is here. The leadership of the Council of Governors has never been so incompetent and so downright low as it is now. Mr. Speaker, when you have a council as important as the Council of Governors, led by a governor whose understanding of Parliament is the buildings that he sees in the city center, Mr. Speaker, it's amazing. The people of Wajir, Mr. Speaker, I am embarrassed on behalf of the people of Wajir. Mr. Speaker, it was a great honor for the people of Wajir that the Council of Governors gave them the opportunity to lead this institution. But the governor who has been given that role is now ordering, and I'm wondering what happened to our former colleagues in the Senate. I'm just wondering what happened. Senator Sakaja used to do so well when we were here, Mr. Speaker. We used to look at him as the defender of devolution. Senator Irungu Kangata was very, very firm on devolution. Senator James Orengo was so firm on devolution. Senator Kiika Susan was doing so well. Senator Mutula Kilon, Senator Ochilo Ayako was the chair of CPAC at some point, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it's amazing. It's just amazing. And what we are saying, Mr. Speaker, I want to urge our leader, the majority leader, to kindly just withdraw that bill on the division of it. We cannot be discussing
how we are going to give money to counties when the governors have decided they cannot account for what they have been given. We can, Mr. Speaker. And even if it means, as I conclude, Mr. Speaker, even if it means, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I spoke in defense of the people of Wajir. I never said anything wrong about the people of Wajir. I said they were given
Senator Abbas, what is your point of order?
It is actually so unfortunate that the senator for Kitui. Stop with that, stupid. 101, 102, whatever, 105. 105, Honorable Speaker. Can you stop interrupting me?
Senator Abbas, just proceed.
Yes, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the governor of Wajir is actually the chairman of governors. And yeah, he's the governor of the chairman of the chairmen of the governors, COG chairman. And my governor, I have brought him here many times to speak. He has appeared several times, Honorable Speaker. There is nothing to be ashamed of. It is if you guys have failed to commit him for his mistakes, then I have no responsibility for that.
Can you conclude, Senator Wambua? Order, Honorable
Mr. Speaker, for the record, Mr. Speaker, the senator of Wajir is not on trial. And the people of Wajir are not on trial. It is one individual called the governor of Wajir who has committed atrocities against this house. That is a man on trial, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, what we are saying as I conclude is that, Mr. Speaker, there cannot be an exchange between me and the Senator of Wajir.
Proceed, Senator Wambua.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Abbas, kindly take your seat. Senator Abbas, take your seat.
Mr. Speaker.
Senator Abbas, take your seat. Senator Abbas, take your seat. Good. Conclude, Senator
Mr. Speaker,
Wambua.
let me conclude by saying this. That, Mr. Speaker, these governors, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, the
Order.
governor of Wajir is being violated.
Senator Abbas, I order you to leave the chamber immediately for the remainder of the day.
Is this that serious?
Senator Abbas, leave the chamber immediately.
No, we can't behave this way. Gentlemen, we can't behave this way. We can't behave this way. Colleagues, we can't behave this way. We can't do this. We can't do this. Mr. Speaker, as I conclude. Mr. Speaker.
Sergeant at Arms, kindly escort the Senator for Wajir out of the chamber.
So, Mr. Speaker, let me conclude by saying this. That, Mr. Speaker, there is a serious concern. There's a serious concern, Mr. Speaker, on the matter of the funds that the governors have been put in charge of. That, Mr. Speaker, I think my point is made. Majority Leader, please withdraw the bill. Let's retreat and have a conversation about this bill. At a later date, we can debate it. Mr. Speaker, I submit.
For Nairobi City County.
Honorable Speaker, the Majority Leader had requested me and a small group of senators to proceed to the place where the governor for Samburu was addressing the press so that we can escort him into the precincts of Parliament, our offices here, put him somewhere. Please, Honorable Speaker, I would not like to be heckled this afternoon. I'm in a foul mood.
Tahazana, may the Senator for Nairobi City County be heard in silence. You'll have your moment.
Thank you, Honorable
Proceed.
Speaker. Speaker, the reason I am saying I'm in a foul mood, I've actually been assaulted at the gate there, and I was going to get there. Mr. Speaker, when we arrived there, we found the governor of Samburu actually speaking to the press. And because you had asked that the sergeant at arms escort him to the police station, the sergeant at arms was already there. And Honorable Speaker, as honorable members, we asked him to walk with us into Parliament so that he can be taken where you had ordered him to be taken. One of his goons, Honorable Speaker, grabbed me by my coat. I don't say it's an expensive suit, but now it's ruined, Honorable Speaker. And were it not for Senator Eddy, I think I would have been found myself in a very difficult situation. Speaker, what we are saying is this. I think we need to stop making a mockery of this House. We need to stop making a mockery of devolution. We need to make a mockery, stop making a mockery of the processes that are constitutionally, required to be done. So, Majority Leader, I am asking myself, I personally am happy. I'm happy that I saw a letter from the governor of Nairobi saying he is now prepared to appear before the Committee of Public Accounts. But, Honorable Speaker, this decision not to appear before a specific committee of this House is a collegiate decision by the Council of Governors. And that is why I like what the Senator for Meru has said, that this is no longer about our individual counties. One of the things that I agree with the chair of the Council of Governors, the governor for Wajir, when he spoke yesterday, he said, in fact, the oversight mandate of this House is not upon individual governors. I, as a senator for Nairobi, it is not only me who is expected to oversight Nairobi. The governor of Meru, the governor of, the governor of Meru, the governor of Samburu is also subject to my oversight as a member of this House. But where we differ is that the responsibility to account for money is an individual responsibility for them. My responsibility is to account to the people of Nairobi how I have been able to execute the mandate they gave me at the ballot. Honorable Speaker, the people of Nairobi have seen that I have exhausted everything, every single tool, including sending the IG of police to present my governor before the committee so that we can have conversations about those matters that we were highlighting yesterday. Speaker, when you talk about 21 billion shillings, that this House, not Sifuna, this House gives Nairobi 21 billion Kenya shillings. If the senator of Bungoma sitting in a committee cannot ask Sakaja questions about utilization of that resources, then how will I be able to convince you next time that you need to support me for more resources for Nairobi? So what we are saying is this. I think, honestly speaking, what is required now is some level of sobriety, some level of maturity, not from this House, but from the Council of Governors. We have had enough. You cannot subject this House to the sort of ridicule that we are seeing, that you come, you know very well, you are invited to a specific committee at a specific time, at a specific date, to discuss a specific matter. Then you bring a battery of journalists out here to tell them I am here and these people, there's nothing even I'm doing here. There's no one has asked me any question. That is not how we are supposed to relate. And intergovernmental relations are not supposed to be these acrimonious. So, Honorable Majority Leader, you have said you wanted to hear our wisdom. I am also saying, as the Senator of Nairobi, I am willing to say, let us drop that business of today so that we can be able to sort out all these problems. And Mr. Speaker, I just want finally to remind everyone that this House has not been intransigent in this impasse. In fact, I remember the Speaker of this House directing the Council of Governors that we are prepared to have a meeting as the leadership of this House with the leadership of the Council of Governors to iron out any concerns that they have. And the only condition was you cannot suspend a constitutional provision. All they needed to do is to attend those meetings for that week, and then we would have the meeting. But, Honorable Speaker, we cannot countenance a situation where somebody sitting somewhere can suspend a constitutional imperative. It is something we cannot do. So, I am hoping that the other governors will follow. And I've spoken to the chair of the county public accounts. I don't see him in the house today, but he's on his way. The vice chair is here. We are ready to issue a schedule as soon as tomorrow for people to come and account for the monies that they have done what? They have been given as county governors. And immediately that process is going on, we can come to this house and say, now as the leadership, if they want to sit with you, the speaker, if they don't like Sifuna's face, it's fine. This is not about Sifuna. And I have said and I've repeated here, there is no senator here who cannot do the job that Sifuna does. That's the reason why all of us were elected here. So if Sifuna's face at County Public Accounts Committee is somewhat unpleasant, we can try Senator Mundiki's face. I don't have a problem. Let us try Senator Joyce Korir. If they think Senator Joyce Korir will not ask about money being taken from Kipes to go and throw a bash for border borders, they are very mistaken. If they think Senator Korir will allow them to withdraw money from the county coffers so that they can throw a housewarming party like they did in Vihiga, it is not going to be possible. Mr. Speaker, can you imagine? They say we embarrass them there. A governor comes and his records are so bad that when he is asked to read them, he says he has forgotten his glasses at home because he knows if he reads that thing, he's going to be so ridiculous. Speaker, who is embarrassing who? Who is embarrassing who? This house only operates on two things, two reports. The report from the Auditor General is brought to us, and the responses from the governors. Your responses are so bad, you are embarrassed to read them. But somehow, Sifuna is the problem. So, Speaker, I agree with my colleagues who are saying...
Sifuna, would you wish to be informed?
By all means, this is Anjuri Ncheke, Elder. He has some information.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. You know, Mr. Speaker, Senator for Nairobi is my good friend. And what has happened before that, the first yesterday, the report, the CPK report, the CPAC report has already departed from those committees. That report is now in this house, Mr. Speaker. So I want my friend, Senator for Nairobi, Senator Sifuna. Already the reports are property of the Senate. They have already departed from the committees. So, Mr. Speaker, what we need to do is to discuss these reports now as the Senate. Whatever we want to do with them, whatever we want to do with the governors, they should appear now before the Senate. They have already left the committees, Mr. Speaker. And if any governor should appear here the way CSCs appear before us, so that we can also interrogate them, we can be able, especially the 29, just a minute, especially the 29 governors who have really shown us the middle finger. We really need to deal with them perpendicularly, Honorable Speaker.
Senator for Nairobi City County, conclude your thoughts, please.
I wanted to conclude, Speaker, by saying that I agree with what the Senator of Meru is suggesting. And in fact, it will be good for the whole country. It will be good for the whole country to see for themselves the sort of amazing things that we are told in County Public Accounts Committee. When you ask somebody to show you what they utilized money on and they tell you that they gave supplements to wild animals who are being given special food, and there's children in this country going hungry, I want them to stand there and be live on all media stations and say those things. Let us see if Sifuna is the problem. Let us see if Sifuna is the problem. So, Speaker, I want to very strongly say.
Order, Senator Fernandez.
I want to say, let us drop this business. We are amenable as a committee. None of this business is the property of any committee. It's the property of the House. So let us adopt the position that has been taken. But until we clear those 29, there is no single coin we are going to vote for to go to the counties. Thank you.
Senator Wakoli. Order, honorable senators.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika kwa nafasi hii ambayo leo gavana ameponea chupu-chupu. Ndugu yangu Sifuna, ndugu yangu Edi, walikuwa wamembeba hobela. Gavana miguu ilikuwa imening'inia hewani, ili wachukua maafisa wake kumuokoa mikononi mwa maseneta. Lakini jambo linalosisitizwa Mheshimiwa Spika ni kwamba mtu hawezi kuoka mkate wake na kaula mwenyewe pasipo kuchungwa na kudadisiwa na tume ama taasisi kama jumba la Senate. Yale viongozi wanataja kuhusiana na usambarishaji ama kupora kwa pesa za kaunti, kupanda miche isiyohesabika, kulisha mifugo ambayo haitunzwi na watu ambao wako timamu mchana katika boma zao. Nimeshangaa Mheshimiwa Spika, sikujua kuna kaunti ambayo inafanya kazi kama idara ya wanyama wa misitu Mheshimiwa Spika, kwamba gavana huyu anawatunza fisi, mbweha, anawalisha na anaacha watoto wa Kenya wakipaza vinyo wakipiga mea. Mheshimiwa Spika, sitakubali, na wengi wamesema, na wengi wape Mheshimiwa Spika, tusiwape shilingi, ndururu ama noti. Wacha wakaukiwe kule kwenye kaunti, na Wakenya wajue tumewanyima fedha kwa sababu hawawezi kuwajibika na fedha za kaunti. Mheshimiwa Spika, wengi wamening'inia katika vazi la Mheshimiwa Rais. Mheshimiwa Rais anazindua miradi mingi katika kaunti. Hao magavana kila mahali wamenyosha vidole viwili, lakini mfukoni wamejaza pesa za Wakenya. Kile maseneta wanasema tutapekua mifuko yote, hata kama ni kuwavua nguo tuwavue, ili wabake uchi wa mnyama, ndio tujue wao ni waaminifu. Iwapo wanaweza kuja kwa malango ya Senate kwa kiburi, kedeli, madharau, Mheshimiwa Spika, hawa watu wakikutana na Wakenya usiku watawachinja peupe. Hatupaswi kuwahurumia, hatupaswi kuwapa nafasi yoyote kujidhihirisha kwa kwamba hawa ni watakatifu wakati huu mgumu wa kiuchumi. Na Mheshimiwa, kuna muasisi alisema, ukiona dikteta, ukiona mtu dhalimu, ukiona aliyekuwa mwizi anageuka na kubeba Biblia akisema njooni nyote, ufalme wa mbinguni umekuja, nitawatangulia niwafungulie njia. Mheshimiwa, jipange. Wao ambao wanakuja wakisema jinsi Mheshimiwa Sifuna akisema na Mheshimiwa Seneta Kio, ati kwamba ati niruhusu tu nije kama Nikodemo. Mheshimiwa Spika, tusiwakubali. Waje tu mchana jinsi wanavyopora mchana, na sisi tuwanywe mchana kwa sheria za jumba la Senate. Naomba niungane na wengine, hatuwapi pesa, lazima wakamatwe. Na nimeshukuru Mheshimiwa kiongozi wa wengi, kwa mara ya kwanza Wakenya wamejua katiba inawaruhusu kukamata wezi na kuwakabidhi mikononi mwa taasisi za dola. Wakenya popote mlipo, mkiona hawa magavana, tusaidieni, muwakamate, muwapeleke katika kituo cha polisi kilicho karibu. Asante sana na Mungu awalinde. Asante Mheshimiwa Speaker.
Now, Majority Leader, honorable senators, if you look at your supplementary order paper, there is a motion that you will have to speak to it, and it touches on the matters that you want to speak. Senator Kavindu, there is a whole motion that awaits you. So that contribution you want to make now, reserve it to be made in that particular motion. Majority Leader, you wanted to tap the wisdom of your colleagues. I hope you are now wiser than it started. You may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to thank my colleagues because this is not a simple matter. Mr. Speaker,
Senator Kavindu, the bill has not been moved. So proceed, Senate Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I was saying this is a very serious matter, and these are moments that call for serious introspection. As a House, Mr. Speaker, why I requested that I be advised by my colleagues is because this is not just an issue about one or two governors. Mr. Speaker, when you have governors seated in Kilifi, enjoying expensive drinks, and perhaps doing things that you cannot mention even on the floor of the House, Mr. Speaker, then incite themselves that they shall cease appearing before the House of Parliament, Mr. Speaker, that is not a matter to be treated lightly. That is why I have been very clear from day one, Mr. Speaker, that if there is a matter that has touched the raw nerve of this House, it is this issue of the collective non-appearance by governors before the House of Parliament, Mr. Speaker. And I want to tell the governors, it doesn't matter which office you seek intervention from, and they know what I mean, Mr. Speaker. This is something that is non-negotiable for us, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, if my colleagues feel that a continued conversation on the division of revenue undermine our collective position of principle that respect to the constitutional order in this country is not something that is subject for debate, Mr. Speaker, then I defer to the wisdom of the House. I request, Mr. Speaker, that I be granted the opportunity to defer the moving of this bill until a later date, Mr. Speaker.
It is so deferred. Now, honorable senators, there is a supplementary order paper, which I believe has been posted in your gadgets. The chair will make a communication in that regard. Don't worry about it. Order, honorable senators, before I ask the clerk to call the next order, I have this communication to make. Senator Eddy and Senator for Kitui, kindly take your seat. Now, honorable senators, as you have witnessed, the conduct of Senator for Wajir County was grossly disorderly, within the meaning of Standing Order 122(1)J. In this regard, I invoke the provisions of Standing Order 122(2)A, which provides that a senator who commits an act of gross disorderly conduct on the first occasion, that senator shall be suspended from the presence of Parliament for a maximum of 3 sitting days, including the day of the suspension. The senator for Wajir is hereby suspended for 3 consecutive days, including today. Next order. Now, I want to believe that you are in receipt of the supplementary order paper. Senator Ledama, you may proceed to give notice of a motion.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise to give notice of a motion, implementation of recommendation by Select Committee of County Public Accounts and County Public Investment and Special Funds on Auditor General Report for financial year 2024-2025. Mr. Speaker, aware that Article 96(1) and 3 of the Constitution mandates the Senate to represent counties, protect their interests, and oversee national revenues allocated to county governments, and that Article 2298 and the Public Audit Act require Parliament to debate audit reports and act within 3 months. Concerned that, despite repeated invitations and summons, 15 county governors define the Select Committee on CPAC and CPISF by refusing to appear and answer for financial management and accountability failures in the Auditor General Report for financial year 2024-2025 reports. Appreciating that, CPAC and CPIC diligently interrogated the Auditor General issues, filed reports within constitutional timelines, and secured Senate approval on the 31st March of 2026. Noting that urgent needs for rigorous follow-up on these recommendations and ongoing Senate oversight of implementation. Now, therefore, Mr. Speaker, notwithstanding Standing Order number 225, the Senate resolved that the Select Committee on CPAC and CPIC immediately track implementation of the Senate-approved recommendations and table monthly progress report detailing compliance status. 2, fast-track the next audit cycle by prioritizing Auditor General reports and county financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2026, tabling committee reports promptly to enable thorough senatorial scrutiny. Number 3, enforce fiduciary accountability by resummoning non-compliant county governors, recommending sanctions for defiance, including budget withholding under Article 229, and escalating unresolved cases to the Controller of Budget, Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, or Director of Public Prosecution as appropriate. Number 4, collaborate with oversight bodies, that is the Controller of Budget, ESCC, and the DPP, to impose consequences under Chapter 6, Leadership and Integrity, for governors' failure to appear, including contempt charges, suspensions of county equitable share, personal liability for losses, and disqualification from future electoral candidacies.
Next on the clock.
Order number 8, motion, implementation of the recommendations by select committees on county public accounts and county public investments and special funds on the Auditor General reports for the financial year 2024-2025.
Senator Lenda Molekina.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move the motion. Just open. On the implementations of the recommendations by select committees of county public accounts and county public investment and special funds on Auditor General report for financial year 2024-2025. Mr. Speaker, aware that Article 96(1) and 3 of the Constitution mandates the Senate to represent counties, protect their interests, and oversee national revenue allocated to county governments, and that Article 2298 and the Public Audit requires Parliament to debate audit reports and act within 3 months, concerned that despite repeated invitations and summons, 15 county governors defined the Select Committee on CPAC and CPIC by refusing to appear and answer the financial mismanagement and accountability failures in the Auditor General financial year 2024-2025, appreciating that CPAC and CPIC diligently interrogated the Auditor General issues, file reports within constitutional timeline, and secure Senate approval on March 31, 2026. Noting the urgency or the urgent need for rigorous follow-up on this recommendation and ongoing Senate oversight of implementation. Now, therefore, notwithstanding Standing Order 225, the Senate resolved that the Select Committee on CPAC and CPIC immediately, 1, track implementation of the Senate-approved recommendations and table monthly progress reports detailing compliance status. 2, fast-track the next audit cycle by prioritizing Auditor General reports on county financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2026, tabling committee reports promptly to enable thorough senatorial scrutiny. Number 3, enforcing fiduciary accountability by resummoning non-compliant county governors, immediately recommending sanctions for defiance, including budget withholding under Article 229, and escalating unresolved cases to the Control of Budget, Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, or the Director of Public Prosecution as appropriate. Number 4, collaborate with oversight bodies, Control of Budget, ESCC, and the DPP to impose consequences under Chapter 6, the leadership and integrity, for governors' failure to appear, including contempt charges, suspensions of county equitable share, personal liability for losses, and disqualification from future electoral candidacy. Mr. Speaker, this issue where the governors have collectively boycotted the Senate, oversight is a bizarre assault on accountability. Mr. Speaker, all of us are brought here by the citizens of Kenya. Kenyans expect us to be able to report back to them on the issues of accountability. What we have been witnessing, Mr. Speaker, sir, is arrogance and total misunderstanding and misinterpretation of the Constitution and also laws that governs devolution. All of us here, Mr. Speaker, come here on a daily basis to be able to pass legislations that affect counties. Mr. Speaker, sir, a few minutes ago, we requested the majority leader to hold the business of sending money to counties so that we can be able to, first of all, put a check mark on the issues of accountability. Every distinguished senator who has spoken here has spoken about arrogance. Mr. Speaker, these are young men and women who, before they became governors, were living in apartments. Some of them had small little huts that they called their homes. But today, Mr. Speaker, they live in manicured mansions. They drive $200,000 or $300,000 cars, mismanaging money. They traverse the entire country with helicopters, but when they are called to account for the money, they cannot. Mr. Speaker, this Senate only has this opportunity. And this is the time, Mr. Speaker, that I want each one of us here to be able to remember the powers that the citizens of Kenya donated to them to be able to ensure fiduciary responsibility. When you look at the citizens of Nairobi as an example, Mr. Speaker, there are over 800,000 who sent the distinguished senator of Nairobi, Edwin Watenya Sifuna, here to represent their interests. When you look at the citizens of Narok, there are over 1.5 million who sent me here to be able to represent their interest. Nairobi, there are over 4 million, but those who elected the distinguished senator were about 800. What do we go tell these people when the one person who has been tasked with the fiduciary responsibility failed to come to account for that money? You know, Mr. Speaker, this issue of governors forgetting that leadership is a sacred trust which has been bestowed by the people, is something that we must remind them on a daily basis. And this is the occasion for each one of us here to be able to take their public audit records, they look at their Auditor General records in the executive, look at the special funds account to see how money is being utilized in the counties. It is very sad, Mr. Speaker, that governors are traversing this great country called Kenya with helicopters. Yet our people cannot be able to get their goods from the market, from their farms to the market. And the governors do not even know that those roads are dilapidated. So, Mr. Speaker, this is an opportunity. And I want to speak to my colleagues that today, it doesn't matter whether we spend the night here, we burn the midnight oil, we must resolve to demand accountability from these, I don't even know whether to call them honorable anymore, 47 governors who has been tasked with a fiduciary responsibility. Mr. Speaker, one of my biggest pet peeves is that most of those governors do not even understand the Public Finance Management Act. And those people who work under them do not understand the consequences, intended and unintended, that will befall when they cannot account, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I've listened to my colleagues who are in those committees, narrating, demonstrating clearly the embarrassment that they are faced with when they are trying to analyze the documents that are presented by these county governors. And it begs the question, is it an issue of just rewarding mediocrity and ignoring meritocracy when it comes to the issue of employment? That you decide, I'm going to employ my relative to become the CC Finance, yet they don't even qualify to be able to hold that docket? Or is it that we don't really give a hoot in hell about this country? Mr. Speaker, today, for the sake of the future generation, I want to call upon all senators to be able to remember that the responsibility that you have been tasked with is to ensure accountability. Nothing else, Mr. Speaker. You know, there are a lot of stories that we hear. And, Mr. Speaker, I want to go on record and state here that when the governors made that statement, I did speak to the chair of COG. I spoke to him myself. And he said to me, there are so many issues that the governors were raising regarding the manner, the way they were treated. But what I deduced from my entire 30-minute conversation with my friend, the governor of Wajir, was that the issue was about respect. And in fact, I told him, my brother, smell the coffee. The moment you decide to put yourself out there to become a leader, the one thing that is required of you is to grow thick skin. If you cannot grow thick skin, you might as well just resign and go home and take care of the camels. All of us on a daily basis are insulted, Mr. Speaker. In fact, today, if you open your social media page, you will hear all manner of things that are being said. If I was to listen to that, Mr. Speaker, my blood pressure would be at 300 over 120 or 150. And I'll be sent to the morgue. But I remind myself that I am here. And the fact that I put myself out there to be scrutinized, all those insults will come. So I want us to divorce the notion that this so-called Council of Governors collectively can be able to support one individual. Mr. Speaker, when my brother Sifuna walked in, he narrated to me the way my other brother took off, you know, and I wondered what kind of a warrior my brother is to run off and take off instead of facing the consequences. Mr. Speaker, I would have stood there and faced the consequences, Mr. Speaker. You know, the challenge we have, Mr. Speaker, is the issue that we forget what Mr. Speaker, the problem with us, Mr. Speaker, is that we forget that.
No, honorable senators, Senator Olekina Ombiand in silence, total silence. This is a matter of national importance.
Mr. Speaker, thank you, Mr. Speaker, for your protection. Mr. Speaker, let me not forget the point that I wanted to raise, which is a very important point. Mr. Speaker, all of us, and I hope that the 47 or 67 men and women who are sitting here will never forget that power is transit. Today you are powerful, the most powerful person on earth. Tomorrow you are not. When you are tasked with a fiduciary responsibility, the first thing you need to do is to thank your God for having put you there. Because imagine, Nairobi County as an example. There are so many other Kenyans who would have become a governor of Nairobi. But God put you there. But instead of you adhering to the fiduciary responsibility and accounting and being ready to account, you are growing bigger balls than you can ever carry. Mr. Speaker, this is one of the biggest bizarre, experience that I've experienced personally. Seeing, the way people behave. It's as if they will remain as governors forever. Mr. Speaker, this is a democracy. The moment we allowed ourselves to subscribe to the Constitution, we remember very well that we are limited. There is a statute of limitation. You can only be a governor for 10 years. It will be embarrassing, Mr. Speaker, when you retire and you go and sit down in your manicured mansion, you will not even get a single citizen visiting you. Because when you were in power, what you did was to subject them to a sentence of poverty, where when they go to their hospital, they are not drugged. They cannot even walk to the market because there are potholes. There's no vehicle that agrees to go to that road. And even the borders don't even want to go there. And even citizens themselves, when they are walking, they can barely find an escape to be able to go to the market. So, Mr. Speaker, today, what we are witnessing from, in fact, in the last 2 days, is just political theatric, which must come to an end. And this is why it is important that we remind ourselves, because all of us are here, and we are guided by the rule of law. The Constitution. I've alluded to Article 96, which gives us the mandate to oversight these counties and protect the interests of the county. Today, Mr. Speaker, this motion has been brought for us to be able to protect the interests of our counties by demanding accountability. That is issue number one. Issue number two, Mr. Speaker, I had my good friend, the IG of police, saying to my good committee of PAC that show me, just tell me when you want me to be able to bring that governor here, and I shall bring. Mr. Speaker, I am surprised that what I witnessed were my good friends, the police, outside Nairobi City Hall. And then the next day, I see the governor of Nairobi taking pictures, going with a cameraman taking pictures. What happened, Mr. Speaker, to the IG of police? And I'm going to call him after this and ask him, Ero, what happened to you? You said that you will be able to bring this gentleman here. What happened? You chickened out or what? What is the biggest problem? You know the problem, Mr. Speaker, is that all of us, and I'm not saying that I'm a saint, but sometimes we have to remember that we have a fiduciary responsibility. It is wrong, Mr. Speaker, for the IG or police not to deliver on what they promised under oath when they appeared before the committee. It is wrong, Mr. Speaker, for me to witness my good friend, Senator Governor Orengo, coming in, and he was among the first person. Mr. Speaker, I sat here with Orengo next to him. He taught me, he guided me very well on the importance of respecting the rule of law. And when he appeared, I was shocked, Mr. Speaker. I don't understand what it takes when you become a governor. All of a sudden, you forget that you are supposed to be accountable. Mr. Speaker, I think it's about time that we ask ourselves whether this constitution is the right constitution. Because, Mr. Speaker, if I was the president of Kenya today, I will rule this country with an iron fist and ensure that there's proper accountability. We cannot answer to our citizens in the country who are crying, who do not have medicines, who cannot be able to support themselves, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to end with the following 5 points, which are very, very key. That it behooves all of us here to be able to hold our county governors accountable. I want to request ESCC, because recently I met with the ODPP. And the ODPP told me, I cannot do anything without ESCC. Either we agree to collapse these two entities and make them one because of the issue of prosecutory powers, or define, when it comes to the issue of accountability, give ESCC prosecutory powers. Mr. Speaker, point number two, and this is something that all of us must be able to think today. When you look at other jurisdictions, Mr. Speaker, there are so many appropriations acts. Maybe it's about time that in this country, and particularly, either we amend the Constitution so that when we are moving the budget, the Senate plays a critical role in terms of appropriations, such that we've got appropriations bills that will proceed whether there's accountability or not. This issue of collapsing all appropriation into one form of budget is what is taking us back to the dogs. Because the county knows that even though we fight so hard and say that we will stop money from going, the Constitution bars, it limits the period to 3 months. So we need to rethink the issue of Appropriations Act in this country. Number two, Mr. Speaker, we need to also think generally, because today we are about to discuss the issue of division revenue. We need to relook at Article 223 of the Constitution of Kenya when it comes into the issue of money being spent without approval of Parliament. It is about time that we take this opportunity, distinguished senators from both sides of the aisle, to be able to redefine this country for future generations. Look at the Constitution, see the loopholes which are there, which these guys are easily able to bypass for them to be able to get what they want. If today, and I want to remind you, this is my third point, if today, Mr. Speaker, we agree to discuss the division of revenue, the moment we discuss the division of revenue and we pass it, done. It goes to the National Assembly, and from the National Assembly, it proceeds for the money to go. And the Constitution is very clear. Read Article 219. A share of revenue of a county shall not be, delayed. It has to be released. But that only comes in after we have passed this issue of the division of revenue. So my plea to all of us is that we stop this debate on division of revenue until all county governors have appeared before the Senate to be able to respond to the queries that has been asked. Point number 4, Mr. Speaker, as I conclude, it is imperative that these oversight bodies, the Auditor General, ESCC, and ODPP, work together, Mr. Speaker. It is embarrassing that every time you speak to ESCC, they tell you, oh, there's nothing we can do. Or what we are witnessing, a charade of cases being dropped from the high courts because there was the investigation was not carried out properly. This is what is encouraging this issue of corruption. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, this House must send an unmistakable message that accountability is non-negotiable. The Senate powers of the past must be exercised And this is the opportunity that we have. Without this opportunity, I don't know how to spell it out. Maybe I'll speak in Swahili and Kimasai for you to understand. This is the only opportunity that we have to be able to demand accountability. With all those so many remarks, Mr. Speaker, I beg to move and request the Majority Leader to second.
Before the Majority Leader seconds, I want to make this communication of the visiting members of maendeleo ya wanawake from the constituency in Homa Bay County. Honorable Senators, I would like to acknowledge the presence in the Speaker's Gallery this afternoon of a visiting delegation of members of maendeleo ya wanawake from the constituency in Homa Bay County. The delegation is in the Senate on a courtesy call to Senator Beatrice Ogora MP. Honorable Senators, in our short tradition of receiving and welcoming visitors to Parliament, I extend a warm welcome to the delegation, and on behalf of the Senate and on my own behalf, wish them a fruitful visit. Thank you. Senator Beatrice Ogora, in 1 minute, kindly welcome the visitors so that we can proceed to the seconding of the motion.
Stated that I come forward. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving the great women of Ndewa constituency of Homa Bay County the opportunity to come to the Speaker's Gallery. Honorable Speaker, the illustrious women that are here this afternoon are women of this country who believe in this country going forward. And Honorable Speaker, these are women who believe in the leadership of even this House, and that is why they have been patient here. I want to recognize that these are great leaders from my constituency, led by Councillor Dorcas Matunga, who was the chair of the County Council of Homa Bay then, before the coming of the counties. We have Councillor Dorcas Atito, we have Councillor Caroline Oguta, we have the chairperson Grace Awidi, Roslyn Ogada, Doris Obondo, Margaret Odongi, Siprosa Apopo, Millicent Anyango, Helida Otieno, and Rusula Odida. Honorable Speaker, these are women who come from all the 7 wards of my constituency. And I have a lot of relation with them, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, my late father taught me something that was very wise, that has kept me in this country going. That we must be humble at the mountaintop. That we must be strong at the valleys. In between, you have to have faith. And Honorable Speaker, the women you see today are women we have walked with in the valley, strong together. And so I celebrate them and I welcome them to the Senate, and I still believe in you, and I'm one of you, and I'm proud of you, and the Speaker equally is proud of you. Honorable Speaker, if you allow, I want also to welcome them and give a welcoming remark from my senator, Senator Moses Otieno Kajwang, who equally believes in you, and I know you believe in him. And together with Senator Moses Otieno Kajwang, and the party leader, who is a member of this House, a man who believes in power, I can assure you, the great women of Ndewa, that we are still going forward to Singapore with power. Honorable Speaker, I donate 30 seconds to Senator Eddie Okech on behalf of Senator Moses Kajwang.
Senator
Welcome
Beatrice
them.
Ogora.
Thank you, and come again. Thank you, Honorable
Senator
Speaker.
Beatrice Ogora. Only one thing that I can do as the chair is to recognize the chair of the delegation to stand up so that the Senate can recognize the chair of the delegation. You mentioned her name?
heading the delegation.
Sorry, mention her name?
Grace Awidi, who is the chair.
That's good enough. Thank you very much, Chair. I also, the chair of this session believes in you. Gracious Rendes from your constituency. And I was in Diwa some years back when the daughter to Senator Kiraitu was married in Diwa. Also the member of parliament for South Mentwe represented as the Senate, as the member of parliament. Also the daughter is married in Diwa constituency. So Diwa are my in-laws, so I didn't recognize them. They know in person, so I don't want to dilute my recognition to them with the Senator Okech. So that is good enough. So let me get the majority leader to second the motion.
Mr. Speaker, I didn't know the people of Diwa, your in-laws. You know, Senator Eddy has been trying to catch your attention. So I was wondering whether, if there is in-laws, Mr. Speaker, then we can allow him to talk. But, Mr. Speaker, then how can we allow a bachelor to address distinguished... Mr. Speaker.
Proceed and second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
This motion has generated a lot of interest, so therefore it has really saved time.
Mr. Speaker, this is a very important motion brought by my colleague, Senator Ledama, which every senator that minds the affairs of this House and values devolution should take time to speak to, but not just speak to, reflect about it and what it means for this House. Mr. Speaker, we must first begin by asking the question, how did we find ourselves here? We found ourselves here, Mr. Speaker, and I'll repeat for the 18th time, because governors went on a whirlwind trip in Kilifi, and while they were enjoying whatever they were enjoying, incited themselves and said that there is a committee of the Senate that is not treating us with the dignity that we deserve. We feel they are unkind to us, and so many other things that they have mentioned. And they came with the silliest ideas that has ever left the minds of Council of Governors, that they shall not appear before the County Public Accounts Committee. And since that particular day, things have not been okay, Mr. Speaker. I read it for what it is since that particular day, Mr. Speaker, that this is a direct attack to the very heart and soul of the Senate. And as leader of majority, Mr. Speaker, I have been fairly consistent on this matter, perhaps more than anything else, Mr. Speaker, that this is not something that we can even countenance, Mr. Speaker. Because, unfortunately, for some of us, for the little years that we have lived on this earth, the only institution that we've had the very rare opportunity to infuse our thoughts and share in the philosophy of what it will become in years to come by, it is this House of the Senate, Mr. Speaker. And some of us are not in a hurry to leave this House, so long as the people continue to have the trust and the will to allow us to come into this House, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, we must guard this institution by everything that we believe in. Mr. Speaker, when the Council of Governors raised the issues that they raised, we responded like diligent citizens are expected to do. We mentioned to them and said, while we hear what you're saying, that is not the procedure. Appearance before a parliamentary committee is not a buffet, Mr. Speaker, where you pick what you like and you leave what you don't like, Mr. Speaker. This is a mandatory exercise to which you must undertake so long as you interact with public resources, Mr. Speaker. And there is sufficient backing constitutionally, Mr. Speaker, edits of law, Mr. Speaker, and even advisories from the highest courts of the land, Mr. Speaker. Because this is not the first time that we are finding ourselves here. Governors have even attempted to go all the way to the Supreme Court. It took the judges of the Supreme Court to remind them that appearance before the Senate, Mr. Speaker, is mandatory and expected of any individual that interacts with public resources, Mr. Speaker. And so we responded in kind and said, good people, we don't know what it is that you feel so much offended by our colleagues who serve in County Public Accounts Committee, but be that as it may, as a principle, we cannot allow you to select which committee of the House you appear before. I have spoken more than 5 or close to 10 times to none other than including the chair of the Council of Governors, my good friend Governor Ahmed. And I have told him that there is a principle that I'm willing to die for. We cannot allow any individual, Mr. Speaker, to dictate and direct the operations of this House other than the decisions that are made on the presence of this House. And therefore, we asked our colleagues, governors, that come, appear, respond to the queries, then later on, present your petition to the leadership of the House. We will listen to you. Many times people do this. Mr. Speaker, for your information, every Wednesday morning, just like today, we have cabinet secretaries appearing before this House. Mr. Speaker, there are days in which, for one reason or the other, they are not able to appear. And they send in letters. Sometimes even those documents come in fairly late. But because we are leaders and we understand the demands of the high office that many of them hold, Mr. Speaker, we grant them the latitude. Therefore, we are not an obstinate institution. Nobody can accuse us, Mr. Speaker, that we are unreasonable in this exercise. We told our colleagues, appear, then we will have this conversation. Unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, some of them cheekily saw a silver lining and an opportunity for them. And I suspect, dear colleagues, that the 29 governors who chose not to appear are actually the originators of this silly idea of non-appearance, Mr. Speaker. And the reason why they came up with that idea is because the Auditor General did a fantastic job in the audit process of 2024-2025, insofar as exposing all the risks, exposing all the messes that are in our county governments, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, many of them saw this as the perfect opportunity to run away from accountability. And they use this excuse saying, oh, we had a collegiate agreement. Mr. Speaker, those are the gentlemen and the ladies, Mr. Speaker, that incited their colleagues and said, we shall not appear, because they knew what awaited them. Each of our colleagues that serves in that committee, together with us that attend every time a governor from the counties that we represent in this House are appearing, Mr. Speaker, we're waiting for the opportunity to listen to county governors give an explanation of how they have interacted with public resources. I said here yesterday, Mr. Speaker, that some of us believe in doing oversight differently. For all the years that I have served as a senator, in fact, to the detriment sometimes of my own political career, Mr. Speaker, I avoid discussing public finances and audit queries, Mr. Speaker, in public gatherings in my county. I try and rise above board. Many times, in fact, people submit or observe that as a weakness. But I have always known that there is granted to me a premium platform here in Parliament where the governor comes, appears, and there are questions based on a document that we didn't originate as a Senate. The Senate does not audit county governments. We only respond to issues that are raised by auditors, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, we were waiting for this perfect opportunity. Unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, what happened happened. This matter is now considered settled, in my humble opinion. Because if you don't respond to queries that you have been asked, it simply means you agree with the findings of the Auditor General. And that is a report that we passed yesterday at 6:30, Mr. Speaker. It is now upon the various state agencies, Mr. Speaker, and if you read Resolution 4 of this motion, Mr. Speaker, that the Senate resolves to actually collaborate with other institutions of oversight, the Controller of Budget, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, the DPP. The only one that we forgot to add, Mr. Speaker, is the judiciary. Because the judiciary is also part and parcel of the institutions of oversight, Mr. Speaker. I personally believe that the only day, Mr. Speaker, for which this madness that exists in our county will come to a stop is the day governors will get pictures of one of their colleagues, Mr. Speaker, getting fit to dress in those prison uniforms, Mr. Speaker. That is the day people will realize that this is not a matter of child's play, Mr. Speaker. But so long as people know they can go to the EACC, they explain themselves. If it moves to the DPP, you can have some political interference with it. Once it gets to the court, you understand how all these things happen, Mr. Speaker? You are not a stranger in Kenya. Therefore, we need to call upon all these institutions of oversight that we must work together to protect public resources. Devolution is so premium and dear to the people of Kenya, Mr. Speaker. Devolution is perhaps the only best gift that the people of Kenya gifted themselves in 60 years since independence. It's the only meaningful thing that many parts of this country, perhaps the remotest parts of this country, the closest thing that they interact to government services is the little resources that we send to them, Mr. Speaker. And so long as we continue to read the reports that are being presented before us, Mr. Speaker, you must be worried. Mr. Speaker, we must get concerned. And I say this as somebody who has served in this house for quite a long time. When we came here in the first Senate, Mr. Speaker, I don't recall reading the kind of absurd audit reports as what I'm reading today. Mr. Speaker, in the first Senate, we only used to joke every afternoon, Senator Mazai will remember, about the golden fingerlings of Tharaka Nithi, where Governor Rangwa, Mr. Speaker, if you recall that particular moment, he is rumored to have bought fingerlings in somewhere, Mr. Speaker, worth millions of shillings. And when the auditors visited the county, he directed them to the river. I don't know what was the name of the river. If the senator for Tharaka Nithi was here and told them, please go and check if the fish are still there. And perhaps the non-carcinogenic wheelbarrows of Bungoma. And those remains to be the only absurd things that you'd hear during that first 5-year cycle. And when we came hard on oversight, the next phase, Mr. Speaker, you could see that governors were beginning to take shape. They were beginning to behave as expected, Mr. Speaker, or people interacting with public resources. And so many of the absurd things that you'd seen in the previous years, these are matters that we had forgotten. But to read this report that is being presented to us today, Mr. Speaker, where you're being told that there are governors that are feeding wild animals, and when auditors visiting them, they're saying go and interact and check how many kgs of meat they fed on, Mr. Speaker. That there are people hosting house parties using public resources, Mr. Speaker. That there is diversion of funds, wanton disregard, Mr. Speaker, to the provisions of public finance, Mr. Speaker. It is something that must concern us. Yet, look at how the governors are behaving when they come before these committees. That somebody can easily joke and say, I have forgotten my reading glasses. Mr. Speaker, surely we cannot allow this kind of nonsense to continue. Much as we know, Mr. Speaker, that we engage each other as leaders level, surely the kind of conduct, and these are the things that we are waiting to raise, because I believe at some point we will get that opportunity where we will sit down with the Council of Governors and they'll say these are the issues that we have. And we will also tell them that these are the very issues that we equally have with you people. Do they speak to themselves as colleagues? Do they reason together and tell each other that this is not expected of you as a county governor? In the things that when you come before the Senate, you must prepare well. You must at least know a few basic issues. I have seen governors, Mr. Speaker, who the only response that they give to their committee or public accounts committee is to turn in the chair and say, oh, ask that one, ask this one, ask the other one. Completely clueless, Mr. Speaker, on the operations in their own county. They cannot even explain, Mr. Speaker, very basic issues. Yet, they want to point fingers at Public Accounts Committee and say, oh, this and that has been done, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, that meeting we are looking forward to. And our colleagues in leadership, the governor should not imagine for any minute that the Senate is not interested in listening to their concerns. We equally have questions that we want to ask you. Even just at the very least, leader to leader level, to find out from you whether you are not equally concerned the way the rest of the country is. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, because I know so many of our colleagues want to say something on this matter, and I can see time is far much spent, I wouldn't wish to take a lot of time. I'd wish to agree with the findings of this motion, particularly on resolution number 4, on collaborating with the agencies of oversight to follow through with what we passed yesterday in the afternoon, Mr. Speaker, so that should it ever appear in the mind of any governor in future to choose not to appear before Senate, they will think twice about it, Mr. Speaker. This should serve as a lesson to the 29 governors, Mr. Speaker. You know, and we are just talking about 29 governors. I wish I had the list Mr. Speaker, because up to now, I feel the citizens of this country are yet to appreciate. Who are these people that we are talking about, Mr. Speaker? We must laud the 16 governors who found time to appear, even with all the challenges in the county. At least they submitted themselves to the authority of Parliament and said, I know this happened, but I value this. But to the 29 fugitives, Mr. Speaker, the day of reckoning must surely come. With those many remarks, Mr. Speaker, I beg to second.
Honourable Senator Ososi. So, no, freeze. You know you are seasoned legislator. You don't need to run up and down to sit down. Honourable Senators, I propose the question that aware that Article 96(1) and 3 of the Constitution mandates the Senate to represent the counties, protect their interests, and oversee national revenue allocated to county governments, and that Article 229, Subarticle 8, and the Public Audit Act require Parliament to debate audit reports and act within 3 months. Concerned that despite repeated invitations and summons, 15 county governors defined the select committees on CPAC and CPIC by refusing to appear and answer for financial mismanagement and accountability failures in the Auditor General's financial year 2024-25 reports. Appreciating that the CPAC and the CPIC diligently interrogated the Auditor General's issues, found the reports within constitutional timelines, and secured the Senate approval on that 1st March 2026. Noting the urgent need for rigorous follow-up on these recommendations and ongoing Senate oversight of implementation. Now, therefore, notwithstanding Standing Order 2025, the Senate approves that the select committees of CPAC and CPIC immediately 1. Track implementation of the Senate-approved implementations and recommendations and the table monthly progress reports detailing compliance status. 2. Fast-track the next audit cycle by prioritizing Auditor General's reports on county financial statements for the year ending 30th June 2026, tabling committee reports promptly to enable thorough senatorial scrutiny. And 3, enforce fiduciary accountability by summoning non-compliant county governors, recommending senators sanctions for defiance, including budget withholding and Article 229, and escalating unresolved cases to the Control of Budget, Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission on Director of Public Prosecutions as appropriate. And 4, collaborate with the oversight bodies, Control of Budget, EACC, and DPP to impose consequences under Chapter 6, which is leadership and integrity for governors' failure to appear, including contempt charges, suspension of county equitable share, personal liability for losses, and discrimination from future electoral candidates. Out of order, the chair, or who is out of order? Proceed, yeah, fine. Proceed, Majority Whip.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Standing Order 111, limitation of debate. The Senate may, on a motion made by any senator in accordance with this standing order, impose a limit in respect to debate on any particular motion